Hey, what's up, everybody? Surprise. I've done like, this is actually my third one now. But it's funny because after two of them, I'm learning pretty quickly about what not to do. Last time I did this, my light went out. So that's about the only thing that happened. But let's go ahead and start drawing. I'm Jedediah, by the way. Thanks for joining me. Thank you, and welcome to my surprise live sketch. Um, I'm listening to the now scrubbed mission, which has to do with something I'm drawing here today. So just wanted to do a nice quick sketch. But I'm coming at you from Brooklyn, New York. And if you're watching, please share our live stream with your friends and ask them to join us. All right. So I'm going to be using this reed pen, or bamboo pen, if you will, and then this dip pen, and then this ink. I got this in Paris, so I could list some of the stuff I use later on if you guys wonder, but let's go ahead and start drawing, huh? Hi, everybody that just joined. All right. So I've just been listening to the scrubbed launch. It's kind of a bummer. Now I'm just going to start at the top only because, you guys see that okay? Yeah. It just makes sense for me to do that, to start up here. That way I don't rub it across the plane. Now, I draw pretty quickly, but I'll take my time a little bit just to kind of slow things down for you guys so you can kind of see how I do things. But something I've been doing since I've been doing these live sketches is surprising people and leaving it up to you guys to guess what I'm drawing. Okay, so what I do is I give you guys hints about what this object is. And I mean, it's gonna be pretty easy. I mean, it's kind of obvious, I guess, but maybe not. I don't know. I don't know if you're watching the same live feed I'm watching. So here we go. Here's a nice big stretch across there. There we go. That looks great. But let's see. What kind of hints can I give you for this object? It's, I could describe it without giving it away, a habitable human-made satellite that orbits the Earth. Okay. I mean, some of you guys, you already know what it is. It's kind of obvious, right? So, but it's fun to kind of see what the guesses are. Now, I can't really answer all the comments, obviously, while I'm drawing. So I'll have to like answer them later. Or you guys, if you have any questions or direct questions or things you want to tell me, just send me a message. I always answer them. All right. Let's see here. Let's go across here. Now I'm just sort of deconstructing the shapes. You know, like if you're drawing a car, you're not thinking of drawing a hubcap or the steering wheel before you draw the chassis or basically the body of the car, right? So that's kind of what we do when we draw something. It's pretty complicated, or at least looks like it's pretty complicated. But don't let that intimidate you. Just go right after it. That's my that's my thing, right? Just have fun. You know, I used to have a teacher that always told me if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. Isn't that nice? I always thought it was pretty funny, but it's actually pretty accurate. It's a good gauge whether or not you're doing something that's, I don't know, I guess it's worth your while, right? And that's a pretty strong diagonal there. I'm going to try to balance it out with some shapes here. Now, I've drawn this object so many times, I practically have it memorized, no joke. So I'm looking at a model basically. That's how I'm drawing this. I like to draw things live and on location. That's my preference. All right. You guys can hear the feed that I'm listening to. It's basically the now scrubbed launch, the SpaceX NASA Dragon launch to, you know. All right, let's see if everything's okay so far. Hi, everybody that's joined me. I see a guest there, close. It's a good guess, but not quite. Not quite. It's a good guess. All right. How's everybody? How are you all doing today? Let me know in your comments. How are you dealing with the lockdown? I'm here in New York, and I mean, it's pretty rough, you know. I mean, obviously we're the epicenter, and things have gotten, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty scary how things have been. You know, in April it was pretty rough. So many people passing, unfortunately. But we definitely, you know, like somebody said, a lot of people have said, we definitely live in a new world, in a different world now. But I wanted to know how you guys are dealing with the lockdown. I don't know where everybody's from, but, you know, here in New York, it's pretty strict, probably the most strict as far as the stay at home, stay safe at home orders. You know, I mean, it's understandable because of how many people are passing and how many people are catching the virus. All right, so I'm starting to get into the bread and butter, if you will, right? So the most important thing is you get most of the shapes down and you sort of deconstruct it. And you don't have to render every single bit of detail, right? Make sure you guys can see the end of that. All right, so let's drop some more hints. Hi, everybody that joined. No, Jeanette, I will not tell you now. Impatient. You gotta be patient, man. Come on. All right. I mean, if you all were watching, like, the NASA feed, you should already know what it is, which I think dropped out now. Let me just check real quick. I'm not sure what's going on. Well, it looks like it's still live, but, you know. All right, what's another hint? Let's see. I haven't dropped a hint in a while. It compromises, it's compromises pressurized modules for people to live in. Right, so each one of these modules that I'm drawing, that's what they are. That's a big hint. They're pressurized, very similar to when you fly. All right, let's get this nice and round there. Now, obviously, I'm not going to draw the whole thing because this thing, the entire thing, and here's another hint, here it comes, is about the size of a football field. No joke. This entire object is about the size of a football field. Can you imagine? That's pretty freaking large. Okay, so now sometimes I might go into some detail, and that's really just to kind of get my bearings, you know, especially if the object is a little bit complex. You know, you don't want to get too lost in it, but it's just as well, you don't want to get too lost in the detail. So let's go ahead and cross here and start doing this. It's coming together really good. Really liking how it's piecing together. There they are. Is anybody watching the live feed with me? If you're not, basically NASA and SpaceX is live right now, and unfortunately their mission was scrubbed due to weather. And which reminds me, a few people asked me, understandably, I wasn't very nice or wasn't very good at like updating why I didn't get to go. Basically, I got invited by NASA to document one of their missions, and it has to actually do with this drawing, which I can't wait to tell you what it is. But the reason why I didn't get to do it is because the mission was scrubbed 3 times. 3. And every single time it was scrubbed due to weather. So you can imagine somebody like me, I have a teaching schedule, and I also, and I'm an actor and I work in film. So I you know, do a lot of things. I'm into a lot of things. So with that kind of schedule, unfortunately, Mother Nature wasn't cooperating, and it's safer that way. It's better for the astronauts, of course. For the crew, it's much safer. And so the mission was scrubbed, and it was just, you know, all week it was frustrating because it's hard to plan around that. You know, when you plan it, you have a flight that's reserved and you're ready to go, and I was going to draw my heart out. But, you know, another day I'll get to do it again, and hopefully I'll be able to share the drawings with you guys. All right, so one more hint here. Actually, a few more hints. Let's see. What did we say? Oh, yeah, the modules. So it's the largest artificial body in orbit. It's 357 feet in length, making this object's area span about the size of a football field. I think I said that earlier. That is massive. Can you imagine an object floating about the size of a football field in space? All right. It sounds like they're waiting for, or if they haven't already, they're waiting for all of the fuel on the rocket to be unloaded, if that's the right phrasing. NASA usually has some pretty technical terms. You know what? I think I'm good with the broad strokes there. So let's take a look. There, what do you guys think? Hi, everybody that joined. Thanks for joining me. Thanks, Jeanette. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching. All right. So now what I'm going to do is, I mean, I could finish the rest of it later, but what I'll do, I'll go right into the color, what I do with the color. Because normally what I'll do is I'll add a little bit more detail. Let's see. Ta-da. Okay. So, and I'll take this pen nib and use this for the detail. But what I'll do is I'll use some color. I got these brush pens. If you guys don't know what these are pretty cool. You just load it with water. They're Derwent brush pens. They work really great. The flow of water is really fluid. And then you can dip it in the pigment, or you can load it with pigment, but it's really cool. So you don't have to carry like a tub of water with you. So I'm going to be using this, and then just any kind of, you know, watercolor set or whatever you use. So now this ink isn't exactly the most waterproof ink. I don't think it is, last I checked. But let's see, let's play around with it a little bit. Wow, that's a big brush, that's wide. Let's see. So you just squeeze a little bit out. There we go. All right. So these colors are pretty intense. They're Inktense colors from Derwent. Pretty rad. And let's just do a few highlights, okay? Now, let's just hit. And what I like is, see how that kind of pulls that ink a little bit? I love that. That's all right.
And Dragon SpaceX, Tracy, vehicles in Paddock open. The AVVs are now open. And
It's getting a little green, so let's take out some of that color from the brush. There we go. And then we can kind of pat it dry. There we go. Pretty cool. And then I'll take a little bit of this orange. Hi everybody that's joined. Last hint, last couple of hints regarding what this object is. Jeanette, if you're still here, she was the closest one. I mean, I didn't get to read all the comments yet, but Jeanette was pretty close. It has, this object has 2 bathrooms, a gym, and more room than a 6-bedroom house. All right, that's pretty good for any guesses. Let's see. Leave your guesses there. Hi, everybody that's just joined. I gotta stand up till like see your comments. And then I might take the smaller brush and add in some of the detail, right? So I might go in there with some of this purple. It's actually more like blue. There we go. Add a little bit more blue on there. There we go. That's nice. And then I may take some of it and just hit these values. Okay. All right, so leave your guesses, and I want to see if anybody gets it right. Guesses right what this object is. Last guess. Last hint is it weighs nearly 925,000 pounds, and it has approximately 3.3 million lines of computer code. 3.3 million. I think somebody told me it orbits like more than a dozen times a day. Can you imagine watching a sunset that often? All right, so I might before I go, because I'm going to wrap it up here. I was saying that I do the detail with this kind of pen, and this is typically what I will do on location. But sometimes I'll use just a regular pen, so I don't have to use a dip pen. But I'll do a little bit of the detail super quick, just to show you the difference in the line quality. Sometimes the paper just loves to eat it up. Okay, so that's kind of what that detail looks like with this pen. Isn't that nice? It's pretty precise. All right, so if you guessed, that's Jane, you got it. How do I like, let's see. Jane got it. Good job, Jane. Awesome. So basically, Jane got it, and somebody else chimed in. It was pretty close. Let me make sure you guys can see the drawing nicely. There we go. It's basically the International Space Station, and it's where the mission was supposed to go today, and it was scrubbed due to weather. So that's unfortunate. But that's pretty much it for the drawing demo for today. I just wanted to surprise you guys and get better at doing this live demo. But thanks for joining me, and I hope you can join me for next time I surprise you all again. Don't forget that follow me if you haven't. I'm at Jedi Door pretty much everywhere on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And check out my website at jedidoor.com. And if you have any questions or comments or just want to say hi, send me a message. All right? Thanks for joining me all. Have a safe night, everybody. And sending love from New York City, guys. Be safe.